guys, thanks for joining me today. My kids are hanging out with their daddy and they are gonna go to bed in just a little bit. We have been doing our best to get to know our new puppy. She's about 6 months old now, and we thought we would go ahead and do something to spoil her this week. It's been kind of a crazy couple of weeks between losing our other dog and then I've had some health issues. Nothing major, but disrupting our days nevertheless. So the poor puppy has kind of been stuck on the porch, and I would really like to be doing some more training with her. So that brings me to what we're gonna do tonight. I thought I would share with you guys a recipe I've been making for a long time. Actually, I've been making it since Maggie was very little. I am pretty sure I have a great video of her trying these treats. So if I can find it, I'll link that. I'll pop it in here for you and you guys can enjoy that little clip. It's for Maggie, that's for Blue. No, it's for the dog. Do you like it? What? Yeah, it's because it's for the dog. Do you want to give it to Blue?
Yeah.
Go give it to the puppy. She'll be happy. Look, here it comes. Ooh, that's better. Do you like your cookie, Blue?
Oh my gosh, Maggie, that was disgusting. Maggie was stinky.
So tonight we're just gonna make a really simple puppy treat, and we're only gonna need 3 ingredients. That's pretty amazing. So we have coconut oil. I'm just using this Nutiva right here. I just get it on Amazon. I'll link it in the bottom if you are interested, but it's just an organic cold pressed. I also have some Adams peanut butter. You can use any kind of peanut butter you want to. Just make sure that it's natural and doesn't have any additives in it, especially any like sugar replacements, because dogs can be very sensitive to that. And then today I am going to be using an applesauce. This is homemade applesauce. It only has a very, very tiny bit of regular sugar in it. But that will be totally fine. You could use, again, anything you want to from the store or homemade or whatever you want. Just make sure that there is no sugar additives in it, or it doesn't say sugar free or anything like that. That's not okay. And then lastly, we're gonna add in some homemade yogurt. If you don't know how to make yogurt and you are interested in making that, I will link the card for you. I have a video on that and it's super great. But again, you can use any store-bought yogurt, just make sure that it is a good quality one. So first we're just gonna put in, I have 1/3 cup of coconut oil in a saucepan. You're welcome to do this in the microwave. We try not to use the microwave as much as possible, and I'm making an even bigger effort to not use that. You could heat this up on the wood stove if you want to, but for now I'm just gonna warm this up on the stove. I'm gonna do it on a lower heat. And then while that is preheating, if you want to get your trays ready, you can do this in almost anything you want to. I like these adorable little puppy paw molds. I bought them to make puppy paw wax, which we use on our puppies' paws for the winter time. It stops the ice buildup and things like that. If you guys are interested in learning how to make those, then I can totally do a video on that. It's very simple, but anyway, I just have these molds left over from that. I will link where I got them from. I think it was Amazon, but I can link that in the description if you want. And anyway, so we're just gonna do that, and I definitely, they're super floppy, so I definitely don't think you should try to transport them with hot liquid. in them, so putting them on some kind of baking tray. I already have cleared out the space that I want to use in my freezer, just right here in my house freezer, so I can set them up to dry flat. But you don't have to spray them or anything like that. When they're done, they'll just pop right out. It'll be super simple. Coconut oil is so great. It heats up so quick. So I just liquefied this on the stove really quick on low. And now all I'm going to do is I'm going to add in the applesauce because it's not really that heat sensitive. Oh, if I can get this jar open. All right, then we're gonna add in 1 cup of puree. Now this could be any kind of puree. It could be applesauce, it could be berry puree, it could be squash puree, like pumpkin. If you're gonna use pumpkin puree, make sure that it's not like pie filling. It either needs to be homemade or just regular pumpkin puree, but definitely not any pie filling. Okay, so we have a cup of that, and I'm just gonna stir that in. Mine's pretty thick, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to try and get that oil incorporated to my applesauce here. And then we're also going to stir in our peanut butter. We're not going to put in quite as much peanut butter as we did the coconut oil. We're going to do a 1/4 cup. I really like to use homemade treats that have high quality ingredients for when I'm doing puppy training. It helps so that their tummies don't get upset, and you can just use several treats and get a good amount of training going. So this is 1/3 of a cup, measuring cup, so I'm just going to put in a little bit less. It doesn't have to be exact, but you do want to make sure that it's going to set up and be firm when you're all done. We're just gonna stir that in. Show you what that's looking like so far. It's pretty chunky. If you use store-bought applesauce, you may want to add in maybe an extra teaspoon or an extra couple of teaspoons of coconut oil, just because it could be a little bit more runny than mine is. So, it's pretty thick, definitely scoopable. And then I can still pour this because we use this for breakfast today. We're just gonna put in about 2 tablespoons of yogurt. So I did it in this pan because it had a pour spout, but it's been a little while since I've made these treats, and it's not as pourable as I thought. So we're just gonna fill these molds up. Takes about a teaspoon or so. Now, if you didn't have these molds, that's not a problem. You could just put them into, if you had any silicone, anything, and then you could just slice them. If you don't, then you could take some aluminum foil or wax paper, maybe not wax paper, but parchment paper or something along those lines, saran wrap, and line like a baking dish. And then you would be able to just pop that out of the baking dish and use a knife to slice these. We've done it all kinds of ways. My kids just really get a kick out of these cute little molds, so we try to use them as much as we can. That's a little full. Normally you could just smack this down on the table and it would even out, but this is really thick because my applesauce is so thick. So I think it's going to be better if I spread it out. Perfect. Get any air bubbles out real quick. Great, now we're just gonna pop these into the freezer. So we're gonna let those sit in the freezer for 1 to 2 hours. We can test them after an hour, but you definitely would, if you want to do them in the silicone molds, you're gonna wanna make sure that they are nice and frozen in order to be able to keep the shape. So I'll show you guys those here in a few minutes. Morning, everybody. So I went ahead and left the treats in the freezer overnight because my kids really wanted to pop them out and give them to the puppy. So bring them over here, babe. So we're gonna test them out. All right, let's see. So here they are. They're pretty frozen in there. Here we go. You pop right out.
Where's the other one?
Like this. Don't shout. We couldn't make that many. There you go.
I can do these ones. Yeah. Exploded. No, it was like a light.
Oh, okay.
Just sit after then.
Okay, hold on. Do you think she's gonna like them? They're gonna be cold.
What?
Okay, well, I'm gonna store them in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. They're not gonna stay firm, unfortunately, but if you leave them in the freezer,
that's what they are.
There they are. Yep, so cute. Okay, you gonna put them in?
So all of them?
Well, she can have one. She doesn't need to have any more than that right now.
I'm gonna give her one.
You're gonna give her that one?
Birdie, these things are cold.
There you go.
Yeah. There. Yeah, look. Can I let the puppy in?
Just a
May eat one. Eat one, please.
Can you give her a bone one?
Okay, everybody can't give her one.
You guys eat one.
Okay.
I'm going.
Oh, off. Just a second. Okay, don't give it to her yet. She wants a drink.
That's the one.
Here's Ashton.
Don't flick it on the floor, please.
Sorry.
Okay, quit picking it apart. What's that? That's not. Astrid, you want a treat? Don't. Okay. Stop. Good girl. Sit.
Sit.
Good girl. Okay, take it nice. Take it nice.
Good night.
Astrid.
Astrid.
You're such a puppy. Okay. Astrid, sit. Good girl. No, take it nice. Good girl. What do you think, pup? That yummy?
Yep.
Good girl.
Astrid, want another?
Sit.
Sit.
Astrid, come. You want more?
She needs some.
Sit.
Want another?
Sit. Good girl.
Sit.
Down.
Down.
Down. Good girl. Okay, now get the turban. Put it right here.
Get nice.
Good. Okay. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
I think she approves. And the pup approves. Oh my goodness.